They thought power lived in their laughter. They thought a uniform without rank meant silence. They thought a woman standing alone on a base walkway was an easy target. In that single moment, their confidence felt unshakable. They had no idea they were about to meet discipline sharpened by war. Asterisk. What city are you watching from today? If this story resonated with you, hit subscribe for more stories about extraordinary people. Her name was Mara, and on that afternoon she wore nothing that demanded respect. No stripes on her sleeve, no medals on her chest, just a plain training uniform and a calm expression that never rushed, never flinched. She walked across the auxiliary yard of a joint operations base, a place where reputations were built fast and destroyed even faster. Most people passed through without being noticed. Mara was noticed for the wrong reason. The men were new recruits. They were contractors and support personnel, men who had spent enough time near soldiers to mistake proximity for authority. They leaned against the transport truck, bore, loud, careless. When they saw her approach, their jokes sharpened. Their words crossed lines that should never be crossed anywhere, least of all on a military base. They demanded attention. They demanded proof. They demanded humiliation. They spoke as if the world belonged to them and as if consequences were something that happened only to other people. Mara stopped walking. She did not raise her voice. She did not look around for help. She did not step back. She turned and faced him, eyes steady, posture relaxed, hands loose at her sides. In that stillness was something the men did not recognize. They mistook calm for fear. They mistook restraint for weakness. One of them stepped closer than he should have. Another laughed. A third lifted his chin in challenge, waiting for her to react the way they expected. They thought the moment was theirs. They were wrong. Mara spoke once, her voice even and controlled. She told them to step back. She told them to correct themselves. She told them this was their last chance to walk away without consequences. The laughter grew louder. They did not know that Mara had spent years learning how quickly situations turn deadly. They did not know that she had trained in places where hesitation meant loss of life. They did not know that she had been taught to end threats decisively, not emotionally. When the closest man reached where he should not have reached, the air changed. Mara moved. It was not rage. It was response. Her hand came up with precision, striking hard and clean across his face. The sound cut through the yard like a command. The smirk vanished instantly, replaced by shock and pain. He stumbled backward, stunned less by the blow than by the authority behind it. The other men froze. Mara did not advance. She did not threaten. She simply stood there, shoulders squared, eyes cold, voice firm. She told them to stand down. She told them to remember where they were. She told them to remember who they were. Not. By now, attention had gathered. Soldiers paused. A sergeant turned. A lieutenant stepped out of an office doorway. The moment that had started as a cruel joke was now a public reckoning. One of the men tried to protest. He tried to explain. He tried to frame himself as the victim. His words fell apart under the weight of witnesses. Mara reached into her pocket and removed a small, worn identification card. She held it up, not high, not dramatic, just enough for the nearest officer to see. The officer's posture changed instantly. He straightened. His face hardened. His hand snapped into a salute before he could stop himself. Mara returned it without ceremony. Whispers moved through the onlookers. Someone recognized the insignia. Someone else understood the clearance level. The truth spread fast. Mara was not unranked. She was not junior. She was not powerless. She was a Navy SEAL assigned to a special operations advisory role, operating without visible rank for security reasons. Her authority did not come from patches or pins. It came from missions completed and lives protected. The men by the truck went pale. The officer took control. Names were taken. Statements were recorded. The contractors were escorted away, no longer loud, no longer confident. Their laughter had disappeared completely. Mara did not watch them leave. She turned back toward her original path, as if the interruption had been nothing more than a delay. The bass resumed its rhythm. Boots moved. Orders were given. Work continued. But something had shifted. Those who had seen it understood that strength does not always announce itself. That respect is not demanded through noise. That silence, when backed by discipline, can be more powerful than any threat. Later that evening, Mara stood alone near the edge of the compound, watching the sun lower behind concrete barriers and antenna towers. She thought of how often people misjudge what they see, how often they confuse appearances with truth. She did not feel proud. She did not feel angry. She felt resolved that she knew the lesson would stay with those men longer than any punishment. They had learned that not every target is vulnerable, that not every smile is permission, that some boundaries are enforced the moment they are crossed. Stories like this do not end with applause. They end with understanding. Power is not proven by how loudly you speak, but by how firmly you stand when tested. Respect is not something you take. It is something you earn, often from those who never expected to give it. What did this story make you feel? Where are you watching from? Subscribe to Soul Relief Stories for more real stories that heal the heart.